Hello, everyone. Ellen Sutter of ESP presents an ESP Book Chats, where we bring page turners your way. Tonight, we have Charlotte Marshall Murray. I just always say that, something new to me. And if you could tell the folks about yourself and about the acronym to you guys' organization.
Okay. So as everyone knows, or some people know, that I am an author. I have been blessed to be interviewed by Ellen for numerous books. And so I always appreciate her giving me a platform to talk about my books and now my mentoring program. And so my mentoring program is R.O.S.E.B.U.D.S, which is an acronym for Realizing Our Strength and Excellence by Understanding Our Destined Success. And I mentor young girls between the ages of 7 to 18. And we discuss various topics. We have various workshops on topics ranging from positive self-esteem building to college awareness, anything that will enable these young ladies to become productive citizens, productive women, in whatever area that they choose to go into, whether it's the workforce, whether it's being a mother or whatever. Our job is to instill these skills and values in them so that they can be the best that they can be. And so we do that, like I say, through workshops. We do that through outings that we go to. We just do that through mentoring, having positive young women to come in and speak to these young ladies and just to impart some knowledge and jewels on them so that they can, have an arsenal, if you will, of knowledge so that they can just be good, productive people. And so, that's what our goal is to do with these young ladies.
That's awesome. I also heard you say whether they are teen moms. Now, that's something that we don't glorify, but that's something that we don't embrace I won't say too well, probably coming from a parent aspect of embracing, but the world, they know that teen pregnancy happened. And so let's just say now that you may have some teens who are pregnant, how do you build up that self-esteem with them? Being a teen mom?
Well, actually, none of the young ladies in my program are pregnant or are parents.
Mhm.
And so, we haven't had any young ladies of that sort yet. But I started R.O.S.E.B.U.D.S mentoring program while I was working in the local high schools with the teen parent population. And pretty much what we were doing with them is the same thing I pretty much do with my mentoring program. We were making sure that their academics were up to par, making sure they had the resources to come to school, because a lot of times they don't. A lot of times daycare could be an issue. A lot of times having somewhere to live could be an issue. A plethora of issues our young ladies with children were facing. And so my job during that time was to pretty much try to lighten the load by offering resources to those young ladies to help them to be able to come to school and graduate. And I am proud to say that most of the young ladies on my caseload for the time that I worked for the program, which was 12 years, it was a pretty successful rate of graduation for the young ladies. And I believe that was all in part to the program that I worked for, because the goal of the program was to once again give these young ladies the resources that they needed to graduate. When they went out to have their child, we made sure that they got homework, from their teachers. We made sure that they were coded with attendance in a special way so they wouldn't be dropped from roll. So it was a lot that we did to ensure the success of these young ladies. And so I started R.O.S.E.B.U.D.S back in like 1999, when I was working with that population of students. But actually, most of the young ladies that started out in the program weren't teen parents. They were just young ladies that I had in another program that I was working with. Um, and I was able to, you know, get this core group of young ladies. They would come to my home on the weekends, and we would just, you know, have a safe environment for them to just talk about issues that they were facing, whether it was at home, whether it was, you know, at school or anything. And so, you know, it started off like that, them just coming to my home on the weekend. But I wanted more than them just coming to my house and, you know, just lounging and just talking about, you know, maybe the boy they had a crush on. I wanted to give them some information that would be productive for them. And so actually the trajectory of the program changed to where I began the component of the workshops, and I began the component of giving them information that would help them. And so, you know, that's pretty much how it was birthed. I was able to do the program in the local high schools that I worked at. And I was also able to do it in the middle schools and the after school program. And so, you know, it was just something I felt was needed, because the young ladies were experiencing a lot of issues that I couldn't really relate to because I was raised in a two-parent home. I didn't have to worry about someone sneaking into my bedroom, my mother's boyfriend sneaking into my bedroom, touching me. I didn't have to worry about, you know, not coming downstairs and having something to eat, although it may not have always been what I wanted to eat, but we ate. You know, and it was just a lot of issues that they were facing that I couldn't relate to, but I could empathize with. And I just felt like they needed a safe forum to be able to talk, and then also to be able to get some skills and knowledge that would help them along the way as they grow.
That's awesome. As you were speaking of that, I thought about like us as parents. My kids are grown now, but I'm going to be honest, I didn't make that safe place where they can just tell me anything, because I was raised a way where you don't talk about anything, you don't ask any questions. The parents will just help you. And then besides, my mom is deaf. So people would ask about, you know, what do you do about dating? Did you tell your mom? And I'm like, no. And they looking at me like, I'm like, my mom is deaf. And then they understand, you know, because there was no talking about dating. So with saying that, how do we make this safe, realistic, I would say, communication where we can have our girls to talk to us about everything or anything? How do we start off by making that safe zone?
You know, I think for me, and having you know, three children, two adults now, one on her way. I always try to show them that I'm not perfect, you know, that I have made a lot of mistakes as a young person. I am not free from making mistakes, and by any means am I perfect and have done everything right. And so I give that to them, letting them know that you can talk to me because of the simple fact that I'm not perfect. I think a lot of the times we look at our parents as such. We look at our parents as superheroes, and that, you know, oh no, mommy or daddy could never have experienced that, or mommy and daddy could never have gone through that. No, no, you know, because we look at them as superheroes. You know, we look at them as these two giant individuals, you know, who we think have never done anything wrong. And that's furthest from the truth. And so I think we have to, as parents, a lot of times allow our children to know that we are human, and that you know, we have made some mistakes, and hopefully those mistakes that we made can help you not to make the same thing. And so you can come talk to me. And I've told, you know, I've had those conversations with my children, and thankfully, I believe that my my children can talk to me about anything. We've had conversations, that some parents may not feel comfortable having with their kids. But I once again wanted them to always know that you can come talk to me. I may not agree with some of the things, but that doesn't mean I'm going to love you less. That doesn't mean I'm going to look at you differently, but I want you to be able to feel like you can come talk to me. So I think, parents just have to let their children know that we're human. We didn't always get it right. And it's okay to have that dialogue. And sometimes if it is uncomfortable, be honest and say, this is a little outside of my zone, my comfort zone, but I'm glad that you're coming to talk to me, and we'll just learn from each other. And so I think that's, how some parents just have to address it, when they feel like they may not be able to take some of the things they may hear, or they may, feel like they can't talk about certain things. The worst thing, or the thing that we don't want to happen, is our children to learn misinformation from the streets, or from their
Yes.
peers, or people that don't have their best interests. So some of those conversations may be a little hard to have, but I'd rather have it with you than you having it with someone that's going to give you misinformation that's going to hurt you. And so I think that's how we have to look at it sometimes.
Yeah, my kids are, like I said, grown now. I have three daughters and one son. The girls are in their 30s. Son
Mhm.
is 24. And so I'm learning a lot, talking to my youngest daughter, who is 32, and all of them. And so they'll tell me things like, I'm learning as an adult,
Mhm.
and that as an adult parent,
Mhm.
that our kids, the ultimate goal is to have them to be independent. But
Mhm.
there's sometimes they'll tell me something and they remind me that with your facial expression, that's why we tell you nothing. And so I'm
Mhm.
learning how to save face. I'm learning how to not look surprised. I'm learning how to just listen and, don't squirm. And so I really like that adult conversation. I am learning, and my kids know that I'll say, they'll ask me, Mom, if I need your opinion, I,
Mhm.
I will ask you. At first,
Mhm.
I thought that was very offensive, but then I learned that they were grown as well. They're
Absolutely.
respectable when they
Absolutely.
talk to me. And
Right.
so I learned that when you have adult children, I learned this phrase from Pastor Tony Evans. He said that when your children are older, you're still there. You're more like mentorship. So I
Mhm.
like to look at that, to be in that status. That way I won't have to feel offended because they may not ask me something. They may not take my advice, and it is their choice at that time. With
Mhm.
saying that, um, how vital do you think, and I think that it's vital to have, remember back in the day, you used to have the charm classes. I don't hear it as much,
Yes.
teaching women proper etiquettes and stuff like that. I don't see that or hear of that
Mhm.
too much, where they do that, because we have women now, women and
Mhm.
young ladies are embracing the phase, the B word, and thinking that's cute and that is ladylike. Because I've
Yeah.
said this before, where I see a group of women and I say, hello, ladies, they're shocked, don't know what to say,
Mhm.
feeling some type of way. And I'm like, I mean, you are young ladies. And
Yes.
so how vital do you think that those charm schools or that etiquette, um, style
Mhm.
things that we used to do, that we still maybe implementing somewhere? I
Mhm.
just don't know of it as much as we did back when we were younger.
Well, that is extremely important. That is also part of our program, where there are etiquette classes that our young ladies take, or etiquette workshops that they go through, because that is extremely important. Unfortunately, we are in a time where um, technology, social media, reality shows, show us different ways or show us the wrong way of embracing being a woman and embracing sisterhood. Um, I think the B word, and it's funny because I actually have a workshop that we do, and it is called the B word. What's the hoopla? And it pretty much talks about how now a word that was at one time offensive to be called as a woman was very offensive. You know, if you was called that, you was looking for a fight or a smack or something. Now it's a term of endearment. I don't support the word being called to my sisters like that. Some women do, and you know, if you like it, I love it. But that's not how me and my friends and the women that I call my sisters embrace one another. We embrace each other by being called your name or queen or whatever, but not the B word. And so we have to teach our young ladies that language and words sometimes can be very offensive. And although I've heard the saying, "What you are called, you don't have to answer to," that is true. But if you're called it enough, you're going to start walking in it. If I'm called a B enough, I'm going to start walking in whatever the word B means to you, whether that's being derogatory, whether that's being, whatever. I'm going to start, walking in that. And so we want our girls to walk in positive words. We want our girls to walk in positive affirmations. And so we, tell our young ladies, you know, what you're called or the name you answer by is what people are going to see you as. And if you don't want to be seen as that, then don't be accepted by being called that. And so we talk a lot about, most of our workshops are about positive self-esteem, reaffirmation of who you are. Because once again, we have so many outside entities telling our young ladies different things. These reality shows, I swear I hate them. With all the good material out there with books and stuff, y'all can turn a lot of TV back to what it used to be when we were younger, when it had some value to it. But this mess that they got on TV, especially where all you see are our women fighting and, calling each other out their name, and it's just ridiculous. And so, like, again, if you like it, I love it. I ain't going, hate on what people like. I know what I like and I don't like it, and I try to steer my girls away from it. And if you are going to watch it, because once you leave my workshop or once you leave me, you're going back home to your environment. And that may be something that y'all all sit down and watch. I don't know. But hopefully when you go back home and you do watch it, that you don't embrace it as reality, as what they call it, because it's not. It's entertainment. And embrace it as such and not as something that you should want to mirror. But the etiquette classes, yes, we do. And it's, whole form of etiquette, not just sitting down at the dinner table and knowing which fork to pick up. It's how do you carry yourself? How do you dress appropriately? Just the whole thing of, the full package of being a young lady that you can be proud of. And so, yes, we do those things. Like you said, I don't know how widespread it is. I know I try to do that, with even when I was working in schools and after school programs, I would do it with the little girls because I believe it starts as young as, kindergarten. How our girls carry themselves, how our girls perceive themselves, how our girls see themselves. And so, we do that through R.O.S.E.B.U.D.S, and we just hope that we're making a difference, and I believe we are, because I have, I have a lot of young ladies that are grown now that I still am in contact with, or I have young ladies who I am now mentoring their daughters, and so I believe that the program works, and I believe that we just have to just keep investing in our girls and just keep instilling in them how beautiful and precious they are.
I agree. And we see a lot of things like the body image. Everybody doesn't have this perfect body. Society tells us if this, the minute someone say, you look good, and then they trying to see how they can do better, extra lips, this and that, so their face no longer look like their face or body like their body. And so with the competition of that, we saw Hollywood when we were younger, but not like this.
No.
In fact, there wasn't any people of color on TV like talking about it. So now we do have us on TV, and then I'm happy to see that you can show your Black skin and your natural hair and with things like that, embracing those things. But body image, do you guys talk about body image with the girls? I'm quite sure you do.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, I did I believe it was last week or the week before last. I was privileged to be on a panel with two other young women at a networking event, and I spoke about my program, and I spoke about body image and how we have little girls as young as 7 years old questioning how they look, as young as 7, questioning how they look. Am I too dark? Is my hair too coarse or too nappy? Am I too fat? Am I pretty enough? And so, it's not like, you in high school and, you was kind of, you kind of understood, oh, if this boy don't like me, it don't necessarily have to be me, but is it me? But you could kind of deal with it a little bit. But we have kids in elementary school. We have young girls in elementary school who are so engrossed in their body image and what they look like. And so, with my program, we talk about all different shades of complexion, all different textures of hair, all different sizes of our bodies, and everything that makes you who you are, makes you unique. And so, what we do is one workshop we had, they had a picture of a mirror, and they had to draw or put words in the mirror of what they see when they look at themselves. And so, we wanted to take away the negative words and replace them with positive words. And we tell them all the time, every morning when you get up, every morning when you when you open your eyes before you even get out of bed, you say something positive about yourself. One thing about yourself that's positive, because once again, we'll have um, outside in society and TV saying that you have to be a certain size, saying that you have to be a certain complexion, saying that you have to look a certain way. And if you don't, then there's something wrong with you. And so it's all about changing the thinking of our girls. It's all about changing their thinking because the TV and just media, social media, is just so plastered with it, And I always say that, social media is a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
It's a blessing because you at your fingertips can go anywhere in the world and still be sitting behind your computer screen in your house. You can get any type of information you want. We weren't able to do that. Our information was the Dewey Decimal System in the library, where we had to pull out that catalog and go through those daggone cards, and then you had to walk through the library and find the book. That was our internet. But the kids now, they sit at their computer, never leave home, and do everything. So that's technology has really advanced, and that's great. But then it also has opened the world to all this negativity where you're being told over and over again certain things that some people start to believe. And a lot of it's our kids. A lot of our kids start to believe that, and so, we just have to kind of redirect them to just believing in themselves, believing that they were uniquely and wonderfully made and that they are beautiful no matter what, And so, we deal with them. Like I said, most of our workshops, yes, we do a lot of workshops, but most of my workshops always come back to that self-positive esteem build, the self-esteem building, because it's is important, you know, and we just have to make sure our girls believe how important they are too.
Yes. And if I think I read where your mentorship start as young as 7 and up to what
18.
age? 18.
Yes.
Wow, 7 to 18. And they are really, yeah, they do this day and age, they
Yeah.
talk about that. And then they got to, not only that, they got to have a face at school, a face at home, in their community, and they
Mhm,
just have to go through all this stuff.
mhm,
You talked about also that you guys talk about mental health and nutrition.
mhm, mhm. Yes, we do because you know um, that is a very big asset to being healthy. You know, your mental, Lord have mercy, your mental peace is so vitally important to have a mental peace, and so we talk about ways of dealing with stress. We
Mhm.
talk about ways of dealing with situations that may seem too hard. How do you deal with things? How do you cope with things? So we try to give them different coping mechanisms when you're going through stress. And so once again, we're talking 7 to 18-year-olds. So I have two groups. I have my petals and I have my roses. My petals are
Mhm.
age 7 to 12, and my roses are ages 13 to 18. And
Mhm.
so we have the same topics, but they're discussed differently because of the age groups,
Yeah.
you know. So, we're talking to our younger group about stress. It may be, something related to a friend at school that you thought wasn't your friend, or you
Mhm.
thought was your friend, but not your friend. Because they think everybody their friend. She's my friend. She's my friend. And they come home and they have 20 friends, And so then sometimes they find out that not all 20 of those friends are really your friends. And
Yeah.
so we talk to them about how you deal with, rejection per se, at an age that they can understand. And then our older kids, you know, talking high school kids and young ladies that are on the verge of graduating. How do you deal with stress in school and stress about what you're going to do after school and things
Mhm.
like that. Because once again, that's all a part of your healthy mental health, is to alleviate as much stress and non-worry things as you can. And so we do talk about that as well. And, just in healthy nutrition, a healthy state of mind and your body has to be as well too. What
Mhm.
you put in your body, is
Yeah.
going to show in some form or fashion. And it doesn't always have to be in a weight gain. You eat too much sugar, you could possibly, or not even just too much sugar, too many carbs, things that break down into sugars, how that can be, be an onset of type 2 diabetes if you do it too, if you just too much of
Mhm.
it. So, we just try to just tell them about being healthy, well-roundedly. Um, the eating your exercise, eating right. Not saying that you can't have, certain things. You can eat in moderation. Just don't act like it's the last meal you ever gonna eat. And so, we talk to them about that and things, and we provide healthy snacks for them when they come to the workshops. We have healthy snacks, for them, just trying to get them, if they're not on that type of nutrition goal of eating healthy, we at least try to introduce it to them there. So, we do offer, when they come, healthy snacks for them.
Mhm. Now, Charlotte, do you guys have any men male mentorship that can parallel? Because I believe that if we getting our women straight, we need to have our man straight so that these women can meet these men and they are all learning the same thing.
Absolutely. So, what we are on the verge of now is starting our male mentor program in September. And so, the male mentor program is called the Master Program. Excuse me. It's called the Master Program, and that is an acronym for Males Achieving Success Through Education and Responsibility. And currently, we are working on starting that in September. So I have a very, I think, an awesome group of young men who are positive, who are role models, who are, just the type of young men that you would want your little boys to grow up to be. And so we are now in the process of starting our male mentoring program, and we are prayerfully hoping that it will start in September. The program for the boys will be run by the men. It will be under the umbrella of R.O.S.E.B.U.D.S mentoring program, but the men will run the program because, as we both know, it takes a man to show a boy how to be a
Yes,
man. I don't
yes.
care how women say, well, I can do it. I've done it. I was a single parent, and I'm not knocking that. Please believe that if whoever is listening to that, if you are a single mother and you're raising boys and have raised boys, I am not knocking that you didn't do a wonderful job. I am not knocking that you were the best mother that you could be, and you probably have some awesome boys. But in my personal opinion, I think that a man is the only one that can teach a boy how to be a man. There are certain things that they can show them. And so, yes, it is under my program, but the men will be the ones because we have to have positive men in our boys' life so that they can see what they can become. And so it's not knocking, once again, any single mothers. It's not knocking them at all. But I just believe that there are just certain things, just like with women, there are certain things we can teach our girls that a man can't. And it's the same thing. And so excited about starting the boys mentoring program, especially now in our city. It is, it's just been so violent. We've had so many murders here in Philadelphia. A lot of our young people are dying, and it's just so senseless. And I just believe that we just have to reach these young people, at a pivotal time in their lives when they're young. We can't expect to reach them at 18 and 19. We have to get them while they're still young and impressionable. And so, yes, so we are looking to launch the master program in September.
Awesome. That is so awesome. Um, with saying that, I thought about us, when we were growing up, we had like the younger women teach the older women teach the younger women.
Mm-hmm.
Our gap is gone where the older women are with the younger women and doing the same thing to their respect because they see them as their equal.
Mm-hmm.
And so I see that's why we messed up now. My
Yes,
kids know that I love them, but they're not ever going to be my friend.
that's right.
We will
Absolutely.
have a relationship that seemed like a friend,
Yes,
but I'm not your friend. And maybe
absolutely.
I'm just from that old fabric, and that's where I am, and
Yes,
that's where I believe I would be.
yes,
You know,
yes.
um, we were talking about, and I know in some of them you had been on before, talking about autism, and you are a parent of a child who has autism. Tell
Mm-hmm.
us just your walk about how you raise your daughter, being a woman, a mom, a sister, an aunt of someone who has autism. And then can you also tell us, because I see that when a man, his child, let's say if it's a male, he feels like he wants this perfect son,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
that really, he feels like he is not perfect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so it seems to work a little different because it's the woman's child, and
Mm-hmm.
she's going to make that happen, be communicable, communicate with them and make sure that her
Mhm.
child, whether it's like society say normal or not, it's
Mhm.
going to have a normal relationship with them.
Mhm. Well, Summer, which is my daughter's name, my daughter with autism, she has been a joy to my family since she was born. When I found out that she was diagnosed with autism, um, my mother, God rest her soul, she said that I was in denial. I don't remember, but maybe I was. I don't remember, but I possibly could have been. Um, but I was fortunate enough and blessed enough to get early intervention for her. So that made a very big difference in getting that early intervention so she could get those services that she needed. And so that was a blessing that I was able to do that. And, to be perfectly honest with you, um, as far as challenges go, for me, the challenges have been like it would be if she wasn't a child with autism. You I you experience, things with her that amazes me with her. Things that I didn't think that she could do that she does do. Um, I posted the other day, last week, on my page where she was at a talent show, and the talent show is for students with special needs. It's the summer program that she goes to every summer, and it's for students with special needs. And so they sent home a letter saying that they were going to have this talent show and what your child want to participate. So, make a long story short, her and I have been singing the Stevie Wonder song, My Sharia Moore, for like 3 years. I don't know why we started singing it, but we did. And so she knew the words. So I said, well, you know what, that'll be cool. So I asked her, I said, Summer, do you want to participate in this the talent show? Yeah, ma. I said, okay. I said, you want to sing? Yeah, okay. I said, all right. So I had the teacher pull up, tell her what she was going to sing. And I tell you, I watched that like maybe once a day because although she and I were singing together in the house and, she was okay with that, she was by herself at that talent show. I wasn't there. It was just the staff and the student. Yeah, it was just the staff and the students. And to see her up there, it just blew me away because it was like, wow, she is just really progressing and just really coming into her own. And I do think, I thank the Center for Autism, which is a school she went to from 3 to 5, and then the school district, because they have really worked with her. The IEPs, which are the documents that when we sit down and we talk about what are the goals of the child and what goals are going to be met, and all of that type of information. And she has just really leaped going above and beyond. And so I am honored to be her mom. She's such a wonderful little girl, young lady, excuse me, because she's about to be a senior. Okay. So, yeah. So, young lady. And, I it's not to say that it's always been peachy cream. It's not to always say that everything has always been great, but I've been blessed and fortunate enough to have a wonderful community of people that love and support me, my family and my friends and my neighbors and things of that nature. Everybody has really taken Summer like she's their own. And so it truly is a village. And I think that's what helps me because I'm not alone in it. There are some parents that are, unfortunately, um, that are raising children with special needs. They don't have anyone. And so I couldn't imagine doing it really by myself. And so, I'm just blessed to have that community of people that help me and that support me, that have always been there for me. to help with her. And I'm just totally blessed.
Awesome. And have you been, as questioned earlier, around anyone that has autism and there's a father in play? Do you see that, as I just spoke about, that they want perfect kids, they don't feel, you know, with that?
Well, I haven't been around a father that has a child with autism, but I am a part of like a lot of autism community pages and stuff, and it's like support. And sometimes you will see posts from fathers that kind of relay the fact that they sometimes they feel a certain type of way. They love their child, but there's some things they may not be able to do with that son. You always get the fathers that, they want the boys, they want to sit them on their shoulders, football season and, basketball season, and then they want to be able to go outside and play these sports and do these things. And sometimes, with a child with special needs, whether it's autism or anything else, you may not be able to do that. And so a lot of times, the fathers will feel like they've been robbed. And so I have read, posts where fathers have relayed that, like, I love my son, but, I feel like, I've been robbed pretty much. And I really, and I don't want to sound judgmental, but it seemed like that is more of an issue with fathers than it is with mothers, because our fathers is, once again, like I was saying earlier, when you look, especially when you look at your father, not just your parents, but when you look at your father, you look at this mega man, this man that, has tackled everything. And then you think that father, of course, wants his son to be the same way,
Right.
And sometimes that may not be in the cards. And so I think they have a really rough time with dealing with it. Um, and so, but personally, no, I haven't seen that.
Mhm.
But I have read in my groups some fathers, relay that sometimes.
Yeah, because I do see a difference from mother, like we said earlier, being that we've birthed the child, we carry the child,
Mhm.
and you know, perfect to us is
Yes.
having eyes, hands, noses. That's the
Mhm.
perfect. But we
Mhm.
never think about perfect as mental perfect. I don't
Right.
think nobody
Right.
go on that head on unless they can see those
Yeah.
visible physical challenges that they see, physical visible birth defects or anything like that.
Mhm.
I noticed, Charlotte, that you guys do things in the community. You have programs in the community. I seen one where you guys had books that you were giving back. How often
Mhm.
do you guys do that? And aren't you going to have one coming up very soon?
Yes. So one of our major components is community service. And I believe in giving back. I believe in paying it forward. I believe that your blessings come tenfold when you give back to someone else. And so I'm trying to teach the young ladies the importance of just giving and not giving under the guise that you're going to get anything back, but giving because that's what we're supposed to do as humans and as humanity. And so that is a big component. And so what we do with our community service venture, we have partnerships with 2 local schools here and a daycare. And during Thanksgiving, we give Thanksgiving baskets to the families at the schools. And we, during the Christmas season or just the winter season period, we give out hats and gloves and scarves and things like that to the parents or to the kids and whoever needs it. And all of this is done through donations. just asking people to donate towards this cause. And that's what we do. We are currently working on our nonprofit status. And so we don't get donations from the big corporations like a lot of other nonprofit agencies do. So a lot of it comes from just people that say, I want to help. And just people that believe in the power of just giving and helping people. And so we do that with the Thanksgiving baskets and, just, the clothes and things of that nature for the winter. And then we also are starting a pantry because what I found talking to the principals at the two schools is that during COVID, although we were getting, people were getting the COVID money and the food stamps and things like that, families were still struggling. Families were still hungry. And a lot of the principals relayed to us that a lot of the families are really in need of just food. So we've been trying to start a pantry where, families can come and get a bag of food to, help with that with their families. And another big initiative is our book giveaway. And we do this now twice a year. When we first started, it was once a year. Now it's twice a year. So this was the year that we did it twice a year because last year everything was shut down. So we didn't do anything last year. But the year before that, we did it one time. So what we do is we give away books to babies on up to adults. I am, as you already know, I'm a big advocate of books. I'm a big advocate of reading. I'm a big advocate of literacy. And I believe that all children should have the opportunity to have an array of books in their home for them to read. And so we do this once again through donations. People will give us gently used or new books. And we have, our day where we give away the books. This year or this coming August 28th, actually, will be the first time we do our book bag giveaway in conjunction with our book giveaway. So they're going to be able to take away however many books they want to take away as far as reading books. And then we're going to be giving away our book bags with school supplies inside. So once again, donations that we ask for, so people have donated supplies, people have cash app money. So we are so totally grateful and thankful to those people because contrary to what people may think, because, people were given certain amounts of money through this COVID thing, people are still really struggling. People are still really struggling. People are still really in need. And something as simple as a book bag of school supply, some people can't afford. Some people, just can't afford. And so that is going to be on August 28th. And once again, we'll be giving away books and we'll be giving away book bag with school supplies, and we're going to have some entertainment where the kids can have some fun, the parents can have some fun, and we just try to make it a family fun-filled day, where the community can just come out and just celebrate and love one another, and thank God that we're still here.
Yes. I don't know if you guys have a Second and Charles out there. We get a lot of books from there too. I get some. Some of them be like brand new. Second and Charles, you can look it up when you get a chance to Google it up. But our Second and Charles here, they have a bin with loads and loads of books in it. You just grab it. You just grab it and go. They have it outside of the building. So see if you can find a Second and Charles in your area. And I found some brand new books, hardback, softback.
Wow.
And, yeah.
Wow, I would love that. I would go crazy, girl.
Yeah. See if you have one in your area.
Yes, indeed.
It's Second and Charles.
Okay.
And I hope that they all do that. And then they have also on their bookshelves, like it's almost the end of the year, they'll have outside, they'll do 5 books for $5.
Yes.
And so that should be coming up now because it's, school is about to go back in, and then they have where you can get your your reading list.
Okay.
It won't be as much, for the kids and stuff, but Second and Charles is a great place to go to just grab bundles and bundles of book. There's some things here on the board. Let's see what people are saying. Wendy was saying mothers are nurturers at heart, fathers care, but are standoffish. And she was talking about awesome. And also someone said, Artemis, she said, Charlotte, I am with you on that. I applaud you on both mentorship programs that you had did in your giving back to the community. And someone's like, I need to go to Second and Charles. But the thing is too, what you're doing. Are any authors that, have books on their shelves that want to give back? Are you reaching out to them as well? Or just from everybody within your group, they just kind of compile this together and what's on their shelves?
Well, you know what? I haven't reached out to any authors, but usually when I share my post on Facebook or Instagram, I'm just asking for book donations. So if they are seeing that, they are more than welcome to donate if they would like. I have had people that send me books that are not in Philadelphia, and so the post is not just limited to Philadelphia.
Okay.
If anybody wants to send me books, thank you. We will take them and we will be appreciative. So yes, it's for anyone that wants to donate books. Yes.
Okay, authors, if you are out there and you are on here, and there's someone saying what type of books, if you,
So I accept books actually from 0 age to adult. And so adult books would be any genre because it's for adults. Now, of course, the children's books, are children's books, and we don't want any, inappropriate books for our children. But for adult books, I accept any type of book for them because they read all type of things, and the tables are separated, so if there are some explicit covers or something that are for the adults, it's not in the area where the children's books will be, where they will be the ones selecting their own books. But I accept any type of books, because I believe that if a child sees their parents reading,
yes,
whatever book it is, they will follow suit. And so that is why we collect for the family. We don't just collect for the kids. I want it to be a family of readers. And so, we want the parents to read as well, and so, urban literature, like I said, some parents are like erotic literature, whatever. So I just accept all genres.
And what's the deadline, Charlotte, that they can send it? I know your event is the 28th, which is a little bit ways from here, but what is the deadline and where do they send these books to if the authors want to?
Okay, so the deadline, because it's August 28th, we are actually doing that Saturday before, which I think is like the 21st. I believe it is that Saturday before. And so I can, the address of my site, I would actually, if an author wants to donate, I would like for them to inbox me, because I would give them my personal address, because the site where I do have my program, I don't want mail left outside because it's like a gate. And so books and things, packages would be left outside, and we don't want that. And so if someone wanted to send, I would give them my personal address for it to come to my home. And then it would then be in turn taken to the site where the event is going to be. So if someone was interested, they would inbox me and say, hey, I want to send you a few books. What is your address? And then I would inbox them back my address. And so I am on Facebook under C.Y. Marshall. We do have a R.O.S.E.B.U.D.S mentoring page on Facebook that they can join. It's for anyone. And then I have an email, R.O.S.E.B.U.D.S 0612 gmail.com. So they can email me there too. So they can either inbox me, CY Marshall on Facebook. They can join my Rosebud's mentoring page, or once again, email me at rosebuzz0612@gmail.com.
Okay, and you said that that they can, I know you said about their books, they can send that. But also if they want to join your program, or if they want to donate and they're from different states, do you have a link or something if folks want to do it? And you did mention Cash App. So could
Yeah,
you?
I do have a Cash App, which is Philly Writer 12. That is my Cash App. And that's where they can send donations for book supplies and things of that nature. Once again, it's Philly Writer 12. If they wanted to directly send something to me, once again, they could inbox me, and I could give them the information that, where they could send it.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good. So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for coming here, Charlotte, and telling us about your program. Keep doing what you're doing for our young ladies, as well as bumping it up for our men to
Yes.
do the mentorship. We cannot leave our kids to chance, which we
Yes.
are doing right now.
Yes.
We are allowing them to really take care of themselves. I know when we were growing up, having choices meant that you were an adult. We didn't give the kids choices to choose what they wanted to do, just general stuff, but giving them the choices as if they were adults. So, what do you think we should do today? I don't think that, maybe I'm too old school for you guys, but I don't think they should have we as an adult, sometimes I can't even choose which sandwich I want. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is a big thing that we do, to put choice in the hand of our kids.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
especially when it takes decisions as if they were adults.
Yes.
And stuff like that. Our parents just did not let us do. We was just not allowed to make choices. We did not.
Yes.
It was like a big saving moment for when you're an adult to choose.
Absolutely. You couldn't wait to become an adult because you wanted to do that.
You wanted to make your own choices.
Absolutely.
So you guys got that out there, and you see what's going on, and do look at that Second and Charles. Like I said, we have it here. We just go, there's a bin outside of it. You just grab as many books you want. They sometimes have CDs in there, something. I mean, I've gotten some wonderful books.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I'll find that for you. So Charlotte, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming out here. What would you want the folks to walk away with based on hearing what your program is all about?
Well, I would like to say, if there are any people listening who are in the Philadelphia area, that would like to have a positive program for their young ladies and soon to be young men, just contact me, and I will send you information so that you can peruse it and see if it's something that you would like to possibly have for your loved one. And secondly, you don't have to be in a mentor program or be running a mentor program to mentor young people. Just being there for a young person, helping them when they need help, and just guiding them and giving them, advice and the tools that they need to stay on the right path. That's what these children need. That's what these young people need. They just really need somebody to just be there and to just, be, someone that they can depend on to be consistent with. So I'll say, just be there for our kids. We're too many of our kids, and we have to get back. We had to get back to the days where it was truly a village, and where people truly helped one another and took care of each other's children and stuff. So we got to get back to that. So I would say, be somebody's, be a part of somebody's village.
Yes.
So,
I was looking while you were talking. There are some Second and Charles in Pennsylvania.
wow.
You're in Philly. If you
Yes.
put in there, Philly, and it will show up what's in your area.
Wow. Thank you.
The Second and Charles, you could do that.
Oh, yeah.
Philadelphia, they have one out there in your area. You just look up, when you get a chance, just Google it, and in your area, and you'll see what they have. But it is the best.
Thank you.
You can go like every day and just grab books every day. They have a huge bin. And so they'll put it out there, and then if you can come back another day and maybe they'll have something else, and they always have in sales. So they didn't pay me for this, but Second and Charles is the way you want to go.
Yes.
Thank you again for being here, Charlotte. And the last time we talked to you, you were, did you finish the vampire book? I'm not a vampire girl, but I'll tell the folks about I'm not a vampire girl, but I know it's going to be good if you write it.
Well, you know what? I haven't. I'm working on it now, but I will say to you that I am going to do another spin-off from the Lady Ice series.
Woo!
This is going to be the story of Robert Randstad.
Really? Like a prequel?
Yeah.
OMG.
Yeah.
Thanks. For those who out there don't know, Charlotte writes a awesome lady serial killer. It's a 4-pack book. Lady Ice series. You guys would want to have that off the chain. Every one of the books, all 4 is good. Very, very good. And so you would love it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity that you give authors and just people, period, to talk about, their books and whatever platform that they're on. So we thank you. We appreciate you. We love you for that. And, just thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it every time I'm on your show.
Thank you so much. You're getting a lot of hearts thrown up there. Thank you guys for the hearts. And thank you so much, Charlotte. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.